Hey guys, back at it. Gonna try and get this video out right before we take our trip. If I run out of time, I might make it after. It's a week trip, coming up in about a week and a half. Looking forward to it. Finally able to get back on the road a little bit. Heading back out to Arizona, one of our favorite areas this time of year, and see how we do. Just see how everything's gonna run. It's kind of like first trip after a while, almost like buying a new, if you will. Just making sure everything's gonna run right. Okay, so quick update, probably on the last video, which was a little shorter than normal. I'm not quite sure what happened there. I thought I had more footage than I did. It only went over a little over 10 minutes. I don't know, maybe some of you guys liked them a little shorter. Let me know. I just try and usually keep them around 20 minutes if I have enough to talk about. As you know, the quick reminder for all of our subscribers, thank you so much. I think we're at almost 100 now, which is great for this channel. Anyhow, you know, we only do the videos when I have really something to talk about, and it's usually as we get closer to traveling. My wife was online this morning. I think she's getting a little more excited about it. She was buying some throw rugs for the RV. She's trying to keep with the Southwestern theme. She got some things at Quartzsite last year that kind of started it all off, so it's pretty neat. Onto the truck. So as you saw at the tail end, I don't know if anybody stayed till the tail end of the last video, it was being towed off, and come to find out, now this I find strange, and please leave a comment, but it's not strange that the battery died, but there's two batteries, as everyone knows, in the Rammer 2019 HT 2500 diesel. So they ran a charge test, everything checked out, replaced both batteries, which were supposedly low. I find it odd they would both go low, but maybe, thinking about it, I didn't really talk to the service person about it, but maybe one drained down for whatever reason, or was going bad. They were over 2 years old, and they're both power batteries, so you only get, according to them, you only get a couple years. We're on our almost third year, so did okay in that department, but I'm thinking maybe one drained down and drained the other one. I'm not sure, you know, why the two batteries set up, but maybe that's what happened, and it kind of even allowed it to go as long as it did before it actually went out. Anyhow, it's back up and running fine. I got it back the next day, matter of fact. So, strange one. Yeah, I even pulled the batteries off. I was thinking maybe something had got reset. Didn't think to check the batteries. I do have, now I think about it, I do have that charge minder, battery minder, I think it is, and I think that might have been able to tell me if the batteries are bad or not. Either way, had them replaced, good to go. Got an oil change while I was in there, tires rotated, so we are good to go. Towing, like I say, in about a week and a half. Head out, and this is a little different for us. Now I'm thinking this is the first time we've did this where we, you know, we're not super close to storage anymore, so we're trying to accumulate everything we need in, you know, one area, and then, you know, we'll haul all that stuff out there and kind of reset things up. We'll take one day. I'm repeating some of this, but there's new subscribers too. So there's where we store it. There's actually you can camp there as well. So we're going to spend one night there. I'm going to use that truck wash I keep talking about for probably close to 6 months at least now. Try and remember to put that on video. I know it's not that big of a deal to some of you guys that use them, but this will be our first time. It's going to take it through there, I'll probably do that first and then set up camp, because I think the next day when we pull out, we won't, we just kind of want to pull out and go type thing. Yeah, my brother-in-law's come along with us like he did, I think it was last year, maybe the year before. And we won't be taking the dogs this time. It's going to be a dog-free trip, just leaving them home. We do that about once a year. We'll take a trip without the dogs, just to get a little break from them. We love them, but we're with them 24/7, so we have someone that's going to take care of them for us while we're gone. So like I say, it's a week trip. I'll try and run some video once I'm out there, just to kind of show you, the setup we're running now. It seems to slightly always change throughout the years, but if I remember, I've been forgetting to do this, but if I remember, I'll try and insert in here in the video the kind of the outdoor setup and whatnot that we were running last year with the Blackstone and all that. Now we have, the good thing about it, we actually have a Blackstone here at the house, which we really love. It's a larger one. We do have that smaller one you've seen in some of the videos, so we're going to be using that out there. And there's I have a new propane tank I think I'm going to take out there. It's already ready to go, so I can just kind of swap it out, have plenty of propane for whatever reasons, emergencies too. Been trying to do some of that little prepping, if you will, call it what you will. Having more propane just due to the generator. I have the Champion generator that's dual runs gas and propane. Just to, honestly, I really prefer to run propane, just due to the factor that the gas, if you don't run it, then it sits in that tank. It can have a tendency to gum up the carburetor. So I've been trying to do a monthly test, ends up being longer than that, but I've been running it on propane. Leave a comment if you guys have any comments on that. Again, this channel is usually not one subject. Last time it kind of was. We did the solar panel with the EV charger, which I'm going to take that out there too, by the way. I think I'm going to set that solar panel right on the roof and just use the charger for whatever, cell phones or outdoor stuff that may be electrical, just to see how it does, see what kind of load it can handle. So yeah, it's a whole array of stuff usually in these videos that, and it's really more, truck, tow, trailer, but now fifth wheel, and it's the iterations we all go through. We're not full-timers. We have about, I'd say maybe 4 or 5 trips a year, broke up throughout the year. Everyone knows we usually just take the summer off and take care of our medical, stuff like that, and get back on the road. This year has been a little more challenging, I must admit, with prices as high as they are. We've had to really cut back in some areas, eating out, things of that nature, to be able to still afford this trip. We're going to try and fuel up before we leave, and find the cheapest diesel in our area here in the Southwest. It's been, believe it or not, Sam's Club is the cheapest diesel we can find, and I think they sell enough of it. I do trust that diesel. I didn't used to be this way so much, but kind of where I get it, that type of thing. I am a little more, just due to the some of the check engine lights. If you guys remember back some of those videos, I can always post a link to them too. Back earlier last year, or last time we traveled, about 6 months ago, we were having those check engine lights. One, what I believe was possibly fuel related. Then one was actually the thermostat, so that has really nothing to do with it. But I'm a little more leery about the fuel, especially with the fuel pump recall pending. Which, leave a comment. Has anyone got one yet? I'm still waiting to hear from my dealer when one comes in. So, guess we'll see when those start rolling off the production line. But anyhow, yeah, Sam's Club for gas, and I have a fair amount of def. I'm gonna put a fill it up basically here in the next day or two. What I've been trying to do is run as much def out of it that's in that tank already, just to get it cleared out before I fill it again. Now, I don't know if that's a good technique or not. Short of draining that def reservoir, which I've seen Marion do, and some others, which evidently is pretty important, and you know, when or when not to do that. My technique is just try and run it low as possible, which I know can be risky, getting the low def warning, God forbid, you know, where you'd have to, I guess it runs at a lower RPM. I mean, you might as well get it towed at that point, especially if you're on the freeway. Anyhow, so I'm gonna load it up with def. We use a lot more def on the road, so I'm probably bring at least a box or two just to be covered. Try and store it in kind of in the garage, keep it somewhat cooler. Just, I think I read on the box you're supposed to do that. Not positive. Again, leave a comment, guys. What's your def stories? Anyhow, so yeah, just sitting out here, you know, with the doggies as usual. My afternoon routine with them, they're just chilling out. It's about 90 degrees, 91 degrees, so it's not too bad. In the hundreds. Finally cooled down a little bit a few days ago, but they are starting to get a little more active. Than when that heat hits, they just don't really want to play anything, and I don't blame them. We don't leave them out here that long, honestly, when it gets that hot. Just, you know, don't want them to get hurt in any way. Even though, you know, in the shade, it's real. I mean, it's honestly not that bad. It's pretty comfortable, especially with the little breeze going. Anyhow, so yeah, that trip's coming up, and beyond that, I think we're going to try and take a longer trip up north again, but not all the way up to Oregon and Washington like we did. It just might be a little bit too soon for that with some of the medical stuff we've had going on. But I think what we're going to do is you know, find a decent RV park that we could just stay at for maybe a couple weeks and just relax, just kind of get away. Yeah, that's one of the things we love to do, is just get out there and do some camping. We don't boondock. Not really set up for it. The last trailer was somewhat. It did have solar, only one panel, but you know, maybe eventually we will. I'm thinking about doing a couple different solar setups I'm looking at. This one with the EB, which is a smaller unit, I know is kind of the start of it, just to test it out and get our feet wet that way. But and it may be a larger unit that I would just run a 30 amp off, that type of thing. I think it's the max, the 200 max. The 300 max I know is up there pretty good price wise, but I'm looking at maybe something like that, the one that has the 30 amp connector on it, if we did do any boondocking. Again, we're just more of you know, finding a decent RV park, usually KOA. What do you guys stick with? But yeah, a lot of times we're still sticking with the KOA. This next trip, I don't think it is a KOA. It's one we stayed at before. We know it. It was clean. So yeah, I will, like I say, run some video once we're out there. It's out in the middle of the desert, basically, which is that area we're going to has been averaging temperature-wise in the lower 80s, just outside of Tucson down there. But I'll run some video. It's a beautiful area. We love it, as long as it's not a million degrees out. It's, you know. And that's what I read the other day. A lot of the snowbirds are starting to come down. A lot of probably already heading to Quartzsite, I imagine. Those areas, which once they get everything up and running out there again, we loved it last year, just going through all the little shops and everything. And I think we're definitely going to go out there again. We usually stay a little north of there or west of there, and just kind of drive in and. You know, there's a couple different restaurants we like there, and we actually took our dogs, a couple of our dogs with us to Quartzsite, going through the shops, and that it worked out pretty good. It was a little hectic at times, kind of watching over them, but yeah, it was a great experience. And then beyond that, you know, maybe up north, Flagstaff area, Sedona, you know, kind of wrap things up as, you know, maybe later spring, that type of thing. We're actually talking about a cruise up to Alaska next year, you know, non-RV type talk, but we took a cruise before COVID hit. It was pretty fun. The other coast, I think it left out of Boston up towards north of there, Nova Scotia, into Canada. It was pretty nice, but for now we're RVing, and that's what we like to do. And just glad the summer heat is winding down, and you know, the fall time is an awesome time for us to get out here and do this, get out there and RV. We just enjoy the temperatures. We feel like even we get into some of these areas with the color change, we really do enjoy that a lot. And then we usually end up coming back, although I think we'll be out in Arizona for Thanksgiving this year, but we usually end up back for the holidays and then kind of regroup and end up heading out probably, you know, till into January, a couple more trips, that type of thing. But as far as what I think we're taking out there, we have that I mentioned before, a new refrigerator. It's a plug-in refrigerator, mobile refrigerator, if you will, that we'll be running in the truck just to keep our drinks cool and kind of testing it out. My wife bought a new battery holder. We don't have one out in the RV, so it organizes all the batteries. And if I remember, I'll try and put a picture here. This looks like it's a pretty good one. It holds many different types of batteries. Certainly better than throwing them in a Tupperware or something. That you know, it's a lot more organized, that type of thing. Then, like I say, some of the throw rugs. Not really trusting anything new other than the solar, which I am planning on taking out. And I am thinking about buying some sliders, just in case we get stuck, that would pull us out. I don't think that's the right name for them, but they're slide boards that you can put underneath the tires, just in case we get stuck in some soft sand, whatever it may be, help us pull us out. I'm kind of torn. I've seen a couple different videos on either the boards, or I guess there's a new style that actually is foldable, but they are longer. The foldable boards are longer, but they don't look like they would work as well as far as you know, getting them under the tires, that type of thing. I could be wrong. I haven't tested them. I haven't really studied that much. I don't know if anybody honestly has done that much video on it, because it's probably hard to actually test those. You know, you'd have to essentially bury yourself in some soft sand and pull yourself out, or I don't know how you'd actually test those and kind of officially. But yeah, anyways, that's one thing I'm thinking about. And then one of the last projects I need to do here is one more ring camera. And if I remember, I keep forgetting, and I mentioned this last time and I apologize, is to include just a quick video of doing that. And that's one thing I'd like to do, is include some of those projects I do around here while we're in this mode of the year, before we get out and actually start RVing again. And that should pretty much wrap that up. So we're wrapping things up that we wanted to get done while we're here. And gee, I think it's been about 6 months since we've been out there. Maybe not quite that long. Close to it. So I'm definitely ready to get back out there. Anybody out there camping full-time now? Or maybe you just hit the road again. Maybe you're doing similar to what we do. You've kind of waited through the summer, getting things done, or whatever reason. Maybe prices are so high, everyone's had to wait to afford fuel to get back on the road. So anyhow, that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for watching and subscribing. Appreciate all that, and we will see you from the road next time. Have a great day.